Hi, thank you for listening. I'm going to take you through my low-fidelity prototype of Plugged, which is a job-seeking platform focused on connecting companies and recruiters to diverse hires. I had 3 weeks to do this project, and it was done in a team of three. My teammates were Liz and Jess. Jess worked on the landing page and the profile and the onboarding process, and Liz focused on the job hunting portion of it. What I focused on was the dashboard and a feature we have called the Exchange. As I walk through this prototype, I'm also going to talk about the results I got from some usability testing that I conducted. I tested two users who were both 27-year-old males, and I got a lot of really good insights from them. So this is the dashboard. This is the home page, kind of what users would see after logging in. And up top here, we have daily matchups with recruiters. So our client Plugged really wanted some sort of swiping feature for users to either find jobs or companies. And we decided to make it recruiters because recruiters just have so much knowledge about about the industry that they're working for or the company that they're working for, and we thought that it would be in our users' best interest, especially since our users would be younger, to kind of have those relationships with recruiters or hiring managers. So you could see your matches here. You could either like your match or dislike your match. And when we were thinking about this feature, we decided that it would be really important that all of the matches that came up on a user's profile were from recruiters who had already matched with them first. We did not want this to be like a real rate dating app where users could face rejection and kind of hurt feelings. So for the users at least, it was very important for us to make sure that the recruiters or hiring managers had matched up with them first. Some insights I got from testing, my testers really liked this feature and thought it was a good idea, but they were a little bit confused about what happened after they liked a recruiter. So that was something I definitely took notes on and tried to fix for the next prototype. Off to the side here, we'd have some pictures and maybe some captions for users' hobbies and passions. While we were doing our competitive analysis, we did come across a lot of job searching sites. And while they were really good, they had a lot of information, we didn't think they gave the impression that they really valued their users or wanted to know them on a personal level. And for our website, we wanted to make sure to have that kind of friendliness, that warmth. We wanted our users to be able to, be seen as people and not just resumes and cover letters. Next, we have the Exchange, where you can swap resumes and cover letters with another person in your industry. Another thing that we heard a lot during our user interviews and surveys was that people didn't have a lot of confidence in their resumes or cover letters. It was rare for them to get any sort of feedback after applying for a job. And, if they had friends who didn't work in the same industry as them, the feedback they would get wouldn't be the most meaningful. A lot of industries kind of have their own standards when it comes to a successful resume or cover letter, so we thought this feature kind of filled a gap in the market. So you would just kind of upload your files, make an exchange, send feedback, and then get some feedback in return. My users really liked this feature, but they thought it was way too big, which I completely agreed with. It was really, really prominent, and I don't think it needed to take this much space. Next, we had a jobs you might like. We wanted to build out a section where every day users would get alerted to 3 jobs that we thought would be a good fit for them. And we'd have a little kind of blurb here on why we suggested this, and users could vote on or could like a job if they really enjoyed it or thought that it was something interesting to them, or dislike it if it wasn't something they were really interested in. And the more users kind of interacted with this, the more accurate our algorithms could get for suggesting jobs to them. And then last, we had events in the area. So again, my users both really enjoyed this feature and wanted to see it up a little bit higher. So for the next prototype, which I'll show you a little bit later, in a different video, I did change up the order in which our features showed up on the dashboard. And now we're going to go to the Exchange. So this is the Exchange, the one-stop shop for exchanging documents, filling out feedback, and receiving feedback. So over here we have some user information. We have their profile picture here, maybe an average score or rating, and more information on how to improve that rating, and maybe a medal, depending on how many requests that they've completed. So in my example one here, this person has completed 18 total requests and they have a bronze medal. They would maybe get a silver after doing 20 requests, and then maybe a gold after doing 30 requests. We just thought it'd be a nice motivator to have. Same with the compliments features. Users could leave compliments for each other, whether it's on their editing skills or their resume or cover letter in general, and we thought that would be a big kind of mood booster. So this is how users would see feedback. So if someone gave you some comments, you would have a little notification here, and that would indicate that you had 2 new pieces of feedback to look at. And then some requests down here. I wanted to model this off of Google Drive. I think people are really familiar with opening folders, and I thought this would be a really kind of clean way to organize all the files a user would see. So here we're just going to go through new requests and kind of the editing feature that I developed. And this is what I asked my testers to do too. And then over here, users would write 3 things they like about a particular resume, and then 3 suggestions for improvement. And the users I tested really liked the limit of 3 because they thought it was a really good kind of focusing activity, and they thought that yeah, it was just less to have to think about. They liked that it was kind of set for them, that they had this limit of just 3 good comments and then 3 suggestions for improvement. Something that was found in my testing, though, was that 0 out of my 2 users realized you could move these things around. So they are interactable. You can kind of point them to where you see certain pieces of feedback, and you can type in here too. And I think part of the problem was the fact that there was nothing on the page indicating that these could be moved around. My testers said that maybe having clearer directions or maybe a model of what you could do first could really help with that. And then after my users were moving these around and kind of interacting with it, they told me that they thought these arrows should maybe be translucent, because once you move them over a piece of text, you couldn't really see what was underneath it. So those were, I thought, really important pieces of feedback that I got from the testing. I had no idea that users would have so much trouble kind of knowing that these were interactable, but when I took a step back and really kind of listened to the feedback my users gave me, it made total sense. I don't think this is a type of feature that people see very often, and I couldn't really get the boxes to move. You had to just click the arrows, which is honestly kind of a small space to be clicking on, so I think all of that kind of contributed to my users being confused. So that was the end of my prototype. Thank you for listening.